Hi, welcome to the Compassion Project. My name is Jane, and I'm here today with my parents, Mary and Bruce, and we are going to play the first game of Cool to Connect Couples. So my parents have agreed to be the first. It's Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day, Mom and Dad, and welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm excited you're here. So a bit about my mom and dad. They have been married for 61 years, and I am honestly so proud to be your daughter, and we have learned a lot, our family. So my mom and dad have three daughters, my older sister Lori, myself Jane, and then my younger sister Kim, and they have 6 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren, and
4.
Oh, look at you counting in Australia. Oh, yeah. So, okay, 2 from Amber, and then Jenny, my daughter, and Jenny has 2 step-grandchildren in Australia. Oh, yeah, thanks for that. So, and their names are Ollie and Taylor. Adorable. So we're going to play Cool to Connect, and it is a game that's very thought-provoking. It creates a deeper connection, and these are the cards called, you can see, Cool to Connect. There's 52 cards in the deck, and it's created by a woman named Dana Clark from Toronto. She has a company named Heroic Humans, and so the whole idea of this is we really don't know what questions that they're going to get, and I'm going to shuffle them up, and then I will ask a question, and then Mom and Dad can decide who answers it first. So, but I do want to say is honestly, I just admire you both so much because life is a journey and it's ups and downs, and I feel like you have really embraced the journey and the personal growth, and you've learned so much about yourselves and about each other's relationship and families, and we've had our ups and downs. Like, I feel like some of my greatest lessons are from what happens in families, right? Families are challenging, but as long as you take it as a lesson. Okay, so I'm gonna shuffle them up. So everyone knows I have no idea what cards we're gonna ask them, what questions. We did have a bit of a trial yesterday, and there was a couple of really good questions that we might sneak one in. Okay, but I believe the universe gives us the right questions. Are you ready?
We're ready.
Okay, first question. No, that doesn't feel right. I'm going to cut it one more time. Okay, first question. It's an interesting question. Who can you count on?
You can answer first.
Who would like to answer that first? Who can you count on, Mom?
Okay, who can I count on? Myself. My connection with a higher power.
Yes, that's important for sure.
And then I'm surrounded by people who love me, so.
Yes, counting on love, hey, and that's really what's important.
But I know in my heart that my happiness comes from me, not from anyone else. So
that's a lesson we all need to learn. That it comes. That's such an important lesson, because when it's interesting, who can you count on? And I remember when I played the game, I said, "Oh, I can count on Ed," or that's and I thought really the only really relationship that matters is with yourself. You can count on yourself. How are you going to beat that, Dad?
I don't know how I can beat that one for sure. But yeah, I count on Mary as well, because she's important in my life, and also I count on my 3 daughters, because finally they all like each other, which was a long haul, but we finally did it. So I really count on our relationships together now. And also I have our higher power, which I believe in and count on as well. And so, yeah, that's the main part of it, I think.
That's true. The 3 daughters, yeah, raising 3 daughters. Not an easy feat, but we are getting along really well. I'm not sure if it's because of the pandemic, but
No,
we're doing well with our Zooms.
It's not the pandemic.
I think the pandemic has contributed to our inward journey, though, because you can't go out. So you go in. I mean, yeah. You
I
learn
know
about yourself in isolation.
Yeah.
you do.
And I think as you guys grew up, you started getting more mature and understanding that the other people's thoughts and feelings are just as important as yours.
Yeah. Yeah. And not taking, I think a big thing is not taking anything personally either, like letting people do and be and say what they need to and not taking it personally, not reacting. I think that's a big thing for me with relationship that help when it's like, when you realize like, it's not about me, I'm fine. Like having, so personal growth helps. And that's where it's counting on yourself, because
Don't
if you
have
work on yourself.
expectations. Don't
Yeah,
have
the big thing is,
expectations
yeah.
in your relationships or in anything, actually.
No
Expectations will kill
expectations.
you all the time.
They lead to resentment.
So no expectations of other people. That's what you're saying.
No,
Like,
for example, you shouldn't be expecting, if you expect to get a present on Valentine's Day and you don't get it, then you're disappointed. But if you don't expect it, then it's always nice to get it. So that's how life is. Everything's like that, because don't
And-
expect anything and the good will happen. But if you expect it, you're going to be disappointed.
so true. Oh my goodness. And Valentine's Day is an interesting day because I remember the days when Ed and I were first married and younger. It was like, I almost felt like I needed that validation of him bringing me roses or this beautiful card or Pandora, and every year. And now I mean, I'm at the age now where I'm like, I love him. I'm happy. I don't need that. So it's a bonus. He got me flowers, which was super nice today, but I certainly didn't need it like I used to.
get a bonus.
No bonus, Dad?
Nothing. You know that we've never celebrated Valentine's. When we were first dating, he bought me a heart-shaped box of chocolates, a red box. It was in a heart shape and it was full of chocolates. And that's the last Valentine's gift I got.
Yes.
And I married him anyway.
So she doesn't have expectations now.
Oh, that's good for you, Dad. Okay,
I was trying to
next
help
question.
help her actually,
Yeah, right.
not have expectations.
You're hilarious. Okay,
Great.
ready for the next question?
Sure.
See, all these questions are interesting. In what areas are you currently evolving? Well, Dad, you're 87 and Mom, you're 83. So you're pretty evolved. You should be really wise now. Are you still evolving?
Of course, life is a journey. You're never through teaching and learning, ever.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
So is there a specific area that you feel you're evolving more?
You talking to me or?
Both of you.
Yeah, I mean, we're evolving many ways because in the past we had no spiritual base and we just didn't live a really great life. I think we were too wild in those days, but now we've learned that that's not the answer. We learned that love is the answer and forgiveness is the answer. So you handle those two things and don't have expectations, and you can be pretty happy.
Okay, that is really wise. Love and forgiveness and no expectations. Okay, that's really good. Are you the same as that, Mom?
Well, I had a thought, but it left me.
That's easy. That happens.
You had a thought, but it left you.
Yeah, but when we were young, we were looking for love in all the wrong places. You know, like, and I've learned that there's no such thing as sin. It's just mistakes we make, and we just hurt ourselves. You know, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
So I think the biggest thing that has helped us in our evolution is being fully aware that the other person is innocent. Like, he didn't get up this morning planning to hurt me in some way. He's just doing his thing. He's fumbling around through his life as I am. And so when something irritating happens, say, although we very seldom get irritated anymore, but if it does, I have to look at how I'm feeling, not about what the other person is doing. I have to look at my reaction to it. And I have to say to myself, he's fine. I have to change my mind because he's not trying to hurt me.
That's really powerful, because that's that.
Yeah, we have to really, really look at what we do, and we have to try not to, or try to understand, like, when someone attacks you, if you don't answer back and just let it go, then eventually it'll just dissolve. But if you go right back and get into attack defend, it goes on with us. It used to go on for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And then one of us would come back and say, well, I'm sorry, but if you hadn't done that, then we have another 2 weeks. But now we don't.
A lot.
We don't do that now. We just, if someone says something that bothers you, you don't respond. You just don't say anything. Just don't get involved, and then it just dissolves.
The best thing I ever learned was just to go back to normal.
Yeah.
Like if something happens and there's that electricity in the air, you just take a moment and breathe and go back to normal. It's like it never happened.
And then, but what about someone that is in a relationship where it's not healthy, and then you don't want to get run over and be like, oh, I'll just be quiet and not say anything, but then the other person's, you know what I mean? Like there's some people that are in relationships that aren't healthy, and then, well, I guess they probably should move on from an unhealthy relationship. You know what I mean?
Why are they in an unhealthy relationship?
Oh, why are they in it?
Yeah, why are they still there? They have to ask themselves why they're still there.
But if they defend themselves, they feel like they're attacked. So, and it's not really something that they should feel. They should just not do anything, because then the other feels guilty eventually, and then it's their problem. It's not your problem.
Yeah, and I've learned that too, that it's like, that people are free to do and be and see what they want. It's always how we react and how we think about it. And then I think what really changed me, and how it's almost like this light finally went off in my head after having years of personal growth, and is that it's all about our thoughts. Everything, our entire life, every relationship, my relationship with you guys is how I think, and your relationship with me is how you think about it. And when you said you get that gut feeling, it doesn't feel good, that's when you have to take a moment and be like, okay, that my spouse said something that hurt me. If you can take a moment and be like, it didn't feel good, why? And then you start to think, okay, it's not about me. Maybe they woke up, not having a good day, or it's just move on, love them through it, and then I always think, what is the outcome you want? That's how I think with Ed. If something happens that, you get that little bit like, wasn't very nice. And I think, what is the outcome? I want to have a good evening. I want to feel love and joy and happiness. So I just try to love him more. And then,
you want if your goal is peace of mind, which everybody has that goal. We just don't know how to achieve it. We think it comes from other people. But if we have that goal and we set that goal, then things shift. We start making decisions that will bring us to that place. And one is to let things go. How important is it really?
And the other one is a gift. Forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. So if you just let something go and just forgive whatever you're thinking about it, then it just disappears.
Then you feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm going to read that question we had last night, because it was a good question. It was, I love my mom's answer. We did a practice last night, and it was, when was the last time you asked for forgiveness and why? And what was your answer, Mom? I was like, oh.
We don't give. We don't
You
ask
don't
for
ask.
forgiveness. We give it. because forgiveness is letting go of the past. And so when something happens, it's already the past.
Right.
So if something happens that would arouse something in me, I have to see that that person isn't attacking me. They're calling out for love. And if I deny them the love that they've called out for, I hurt myself. I deprive myself of that gift giving. So I never, ever ask for forgiveness. I grant it instead. And I'm not responsible for this person sitting next to me. He's responsible for himself. So I don't have to caretake him and be careful of what I say. He has learned, if I'm having an off moment, that it's not about him, it's about me. So then we don't get entangled in that attack defend mode that we lived in for so many years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Forgiveness really is really the key to happiness in this world, because if you don't forgive, then you're going to have problems. And everything is forgivable. Doesn't matter what it is, because nobody really did anything to you. They're doing it to themselves by acting out. So you just have to let it go and just forgive it, and you'll be happy. The other person will have to deal with his own feelings and emotions, but you'll be happy. And that's how that's how you're happy in this world. You have to learn that forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself, not to anybody else.
Yeah, I listened to something because I like to listen to Oprah and Deepak, and she said that forgiveness is also letting go that the past could be any different. Just it can't be different. That's the way it is, and forgiveness is part of letting go of that. Just accepting that was the past and moving on.
Well, actually, the past is a real illusion, because it's really nothing, because all of us have different viewpoints of how all that went down. So if there's an event, so it's just our thoughts about the past, and we have to forgive and let go of those thoughts about the past. The past is nothing. We shouldn't even be there, ever.
No. My mom and dad used to argue about the past all the time, because say we did this, he'd say, no, we did that. And she'd say, no, we did this. I know we did. No, we did that. No, we didn't. So finally it got to a point, she started writing down everything, whatever they did. And then if he says something and she says something, then she looks at her book and says, no, this is what happened. I got it written down.
She tried to prove him wrong.
Oh yeah, she did too.
Yeah, would you rather be right or happy, right? I'd rather be happy, thank you.
Oh my. Okay, that was good, because I think forgiveness is important. I actually we're still going to do one more question that I choose. So pick a number between 1 and 10, because I'm going to count down.
7.
We
7.
both thought of 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 7th card. Oh. I'm just so curious how you'll answer this, because I think you're going to be like, no, we don't. It's, where do you feel stuck? I'm thinking, I don't think you guys feel stuck anywhere, but it's where do you feel stuck?
We're stuck in the apartment.
I was going to say, you're definitely stuck in the apartment because of the pandemic.
Yeah, it's like a new way of life now. We're starting to get used to
We're
it.
accepting the pandemic as normal now, so we don't.
Okay, so how are you doing? I'm curious, how are you doing during the pandemic? Because at the beginning, I actually did a chat with my mom at the beginning of the pandemic, and my mom and dad were in a retirement home, but they were in lockdown and there's a lot of control, and so they escaped out of there pretty quick, and now they're in a nice condo, a nice apartment, making your own meals.
Yeah.
And you're happier. It's been better, right? But how are you guys doing? Because we're not seeing each other. We FaceTime, but you really are spending a lot of time alone. How is it going?
Well, we're not alone. We're together, and we're doing fine.
And I think FaceTime really is the savior when you're isolated, because
yeah, I talk to people.
We talk to everybody. We talk to all of our children. We talk to, people that are important in our lives. It's like they're being there. I think we have a better relationship with some people now than we did before.
Yeah.
everybody's lonely.
Well, we
so-
make an effort.
And everybody's lonely, so they sort of reach out, and all of a sudden, yeah, we've had relationships that have improved since COVID. So I think that's the good part about COVID.
I think COVID has been a great learning experience for the world. I think it's been wonderful. I think,
As long as we don't get it, it's wonderful.
well, I'm doing my best not to get it.
As long it's the I think the social distancing, self-isolation, everything we've had to do is a good learning experience. But yeah, obviously the people that have suffered and lost loved ones and have actually got it is horrible. But for the learning to go within more and is where if you can take it as a time for personal growth and acceptance, I guess, hey?
Well, I think the important thing at this time is to go from minute to minute and not make a great number. I mean, you can have plans that you'll play bridge tonight or something like that, but not planning out how things are going to go. So you keep your mind on this moment, and in this moment, there's joy. And if you can focus on that, I have everything. I have a place to sleep. I have good food. I have everything. And I said once to Bruce, we're in prison, but it's quite luxurious.
It's true, but the whole, I mean, the biggest lesson on life is truly living now.
Yeah.
Now, like, and I've gotten a habit of really practicing a lot of gratitude, and now I'm in the habit. My brain, as soon as I get out of bed, I'm like, thank you, walk to the shower, thank you, I can brush my teeth, thank you for the water. It's almost like this thing in my head, and that brings you right present. Like I find if I find my mind wandering, worrying about the future or something that happened in the past, the minute I switch to like, wait, what am I grateful for? It just pulls me right into the present moment. That's kind of how I use it.
I like
Gratitude.
Love is not far behind a grateful heart and thankful mind.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, so I have my own question for you now, and then we'll finish up.
Oh
No, it's a good question. I was like, I always kind of try to guess the answer, but what do you feel is your greatest lesson after 61 years of marriage?
Well, my greatest lesson was to learn what forgiveness really meant and how to forgive everything. That's the biggest lesson I've ever had. Yeah.
The forgiveness, yeah.
I'm happy because if you forgive everything, you're happy. It's like a big weight comes off your shoulders.
I know and sometimes it like I feel like too, if someone's watching and they're like, oh, but I can't forgive because my spouse or whatever did this, and they carry it and they think they forgave, but it's like, it comes up.
It's not I can't forgive. It's I won't forgive.
Okay, yeah.
There's actually, I feel that power within us that is beyond our, we think is beyond our reach, does the forgiving. I think we have to be willing to forgive. And yeah.
Okay, that's interesting, Mom. The power, you said the power beyond our reach. So something, is that more like, are you talking more about who we truly are? Because like, we're not like Jane, Mary, Bruce, like who we are deep inside. Is that where you say the power comes from?
Yeah, well, this body is not me. The me that's me is using this body to live a life and learn experience and learn lessons. But I cannot do the forgiving myself. I'm incapable of it, but I am capable of being willing to forgive. And that's all we have to do. If we take that step, whatever power is within you that you're basically unaware of, will do the rest for you. So I've had experiences where I have been just embroiled in an unforgiveness, so devastating, so hurtful, so I thought I wanted to die. And I realized that I'm the one that's suffering. The other person was having a good
Was
time.
it me? Was it me?
Yeah. And so,
Wow.
and so all I did was say, I don't know how to do this, but I am willing to forgive. And it literally was gone. It was gone.
That's really powerful. So there's a lot on how you say things, how you word things. So instead of saying I can't, if someone's like, I can't forgive, say you have to be willing. I'm willing to, but yeah, that's powerful.
And never say I forgive you, but if you do it again, I'll cut your throat or I'll do it. So that's not forgiveness. So don't use that one. People use
I'll forgive
all
you,
the
but
time.
okay. We should probably sign off, but I want to thank you honestly so much. And this is just a quick question. What are you most grateful for right now at this time in your life? Forgiveness?
No, actually, most thing I'm grateful for is that our whole family is happy and loves each other now, and nobody's fighting. I mean, that's an accomplishment not many families can really say. You know.
Yeah, I think at this stage, a lot of families really break apart, and it's sad. But I do say we all work very hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
It takes work to be forgiving and accepting and not take offense all the time, and to see others with love. It takes work. It does take work, but it's worth it.
Well, we have to stop blaming others for our unhappiness and take responsibility by saying, I can change my mind about this. We can't change the event or the incident or the insult, but we can change our response to it. That's the only thing we have control over. We have control over our response. And so, I remember years ago, when I was first starting to evolve in this process, I had a really, Bruce calls it an Irish temper, a hostile reaction. I was like a porcupine. And, and I remember just sitting there saying, whoever and whatever you are out there, I need a pause between the action and my reaction. Please give me a pause so I can change my mind. And I've had it ever since.
Aw, okay, the pause is that moment to be like, I know this person loves me. It's not about him. It's not, you don't take it personally. You have an awareness to control your thoughts and not just react, right?
Yeah.
That's so powerful. And your relationship changes when that happens.
I have to be honest, I'm human. At times I have had the pause and I've decided, shit, I'm going with, oops. I'm going to hell instead.
Okay,
but when I do that, I only hurt myself. That's the key. I hurt me.
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore.
I don't know. Do you guys do this at night? I will, because I try really hard in the day to be forgiving and have gratitude and be present. I have to practice all these. And I thought, okay, today I have to be better. But at night, I will, if I didn't have a good reaction, I'll be like, I just need to forgive myself.
Yeah.
And I'll try better tomorrow. So if you have a day, if people are watching and they have a day that you're like, wow, I had this fight with this person or I didn't react right. Okay, I'm aware of it. I forgive myself. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to react with love or try to take a breath or be aware.
We also have to forgive our past, the past that was with my family, my original family, my mom and my dad and the siblings I grew up with. I have to forgive all that and let it go. It's just like water under the bridge. It's gone. And I can't take my negative feelings about myself any further than right here. I have to let it go. I am not that person that I thought I was.
Yeah.
Actually, what I did is I married Mary because she reminded me of my mother. And I really didn't like my mother. So I needed somebody to work out my problems with. One more
what was that?
Is just tell Janet that I behaved myself for her.
Okay, I'll tell Janet. Janet's my high school friend that used to always be at my house, Jennifer and Janet, and sleep over. And I'm sure they're watching this, but anyway, we should probably go. I really appreciate you. I would love to have you guys back on to probably share more of your story. A few people wanted to hear your personal story. And I was like, well, maybe another time. But I love you. Thank you for...
If they're in for a shock.
Yeah, I think it would be good. Okay. Thanks everyone for watching. Love you, Mom and Dad.
Happy Valentine's.
Happy Valentine's. Okay, bye.
Bye.